Hey, what's going on you guys? So in yesterday's video, I talked about how Clash of Clans is almost dead in my opinion, and since the Clash of Clans has been one of my favorite games for the longest time, I wanted to make a video on how I think Supercell can bring Clash of Clans back to life. And before we get into the rest of today's video, I wanted to quickly apologize for my voice. It's probably really raspy and extra deep compared to normal. That is because I have lost my voice really recently, and I am just recovering from a really bad cold that I've been sick for almost a week now, so I do apologize for that. But anyways, I think Clash of Clans has been getting a bit stale and boring recently, and partially due to the fact that the meta has been almost the same for pretty much around 2 years. Despite the incredibly big buff to the Valkyries and then the miners and all that, the meta has been pretty much the same for the longest time now. With your typical hog and lava loon attacks and all of that, they've barely been changing that much. And I think a great way to sort of change the meta up a bit and make things a little more interesting, adding more variety to our attacks, is to add more frequent buffs and nerfs and balance changes to the game. So perhaps making one troop a little more OP than usual, and then that would end up changing the meta and allowing the community to try out different attacks that they normally wouldn't get the chance to do. For example, I don't know, I'm just going to throw one off the top of my head right now. Let's just say make giants like super powerful for like 1 month or whatever. I think it would add a lot more variety. We would start seeing a lot more giant attacks in farming, in war, and all that, and bases would change. So it would end up changing the game and making the game a little more interesting than normal. It's not going to be the exact same for 365 days in a year. It'll add a lot more variety, which I think would also, in result, make the game a little more interesting. Obviously, you're not going to make the giants like so OP that they wreck every single base, but I think slight nerfs and buffs here and there, just to change up the meta and influence the players to change up their attack strategies, would be a great way to make the game a little more interesting without having to change too much. And then speaking about changing the meta slightly, there has not been a new troop added into the game for almost 2 years. I believe the last troop to have been added was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the bowler. And that was almost 2 years ago, so we haven't had any new troops or any new types of attack strategies due to that. So I think a great way is to add a new troop into the game, preferably not at the highest Town Hall, which either Town Hall 11 or Town Hall 12 when it comes out. I think adding one that everyone can use would be a great way. Maybe like Town Hall 9 or Town Hall 10 would be a great start. Or even if it is added at Town Hall 11, Town Hall 11s can always donate those troops to the lower Town Halls. And it also encourages the new players to move up and progress through the game. So I think adding a new troop would help benefit the game in so many different ways. It's something that the community has been wanting, so it would make everyone who still plays Clash of Clans very happy, and it would also probably bring back a fair share of players back to the game just so that they could try out the new troop. And then, so getting into a few more risky ideas, or not really specific ideas, but I think that Clash of Clans or Supercell needs to take way more risks with Clash of Clans. I can see it from the other point of view, where that I know that they don't want to displease the dedicated group of competitive clashers that they have right now, but I think that they also needed to go for some more Hail Mary new updates, similar to the builder base, but maybe not like the builder base, because that was honestly an awful idea, but at least give us some updates that at least have a chance at bringing back more players, like the builder base, where it brought back almost twice as many players that were currently playing the game, according to Google Trends, or at least in the popularity of it. The builder base did bring back a fair share of players. The only problem is Supercell didn't follow through with keeping them engaged with the game by not releasing Builder Hall 7 and 8 and 6 and all that along with the original update. They kind of waited too long, and then people started losing interest. So I think that Supercell needs to take more risks and go for some Hail Mary updates that could at least bring back a fair share of players. Maybe not for permanently, but at least bring them back long enough so that they can kind of get back to their roots and maybe start playing and enjoying the game again. And then I think it's also up to Supercell that once they do get those players back, I think it's up to them to keep them engaged with the game and keep pushing out more frequent balance changes and updates. Like I said in my last video, actually, they used to come out with like monthly or bi-monthly, so every 2 months. They would usually come out with like balance changes or buffs or nerfs or quality of life changes. It wouldn't be like every 6 months as it is right now until we receive a significant update. So I think those more frequent updates would keep people a lot more engaged with the game. So I really hope they do incorporate that into the game. Also, removing clouding. Clouding has been an awful problem within the game. and it comes with getting a larger player base. Part of that would help remove the clouding problems that we have right now. So if they do incorporate all these bigger Hail Mary updates or more risky updates that bring players back, when more players start playing again, cloud time also gets decreased because there's more bases to search for, as long as they're not all online at the same time. But in result, usually it would help reduce the cloud time. But if that doesn't happen, I think Supercell still does need to do something about the clouding issue, because as it is right now, the better you get at the game and the more time and the more you start basically enjoying the game, the more Supercell makes, or the more that the game makes it so that you don't want to play. So like for me, I've really been wanting to max my Town Hall 11 and push up to Legends League, but it makes it so hard to push to Legends League when the biggest obstacle in my way is having enough time to sit and wait for a base to attack. Sometimes having to wait like 20 minutes just to find one base to attack. I don't even click next, because if I click next then I'll have to sit there for like an hour. So that is honestly a really big problem if you think about it, because Supercell wants people to progress in the game and push to higher leagues, but then they also make it super undesirable to push up to those higher leagues. And so that is something that I really think they need to fix. It's also something that Darian, the community manager, said that they are working on and is one of their top priorities. I think that should have been dealt with a long time ago, to be honest, but I'm glad they are finally working on it, because it is something that needs to be dealt with very soon. And then my last idea is that Supercell just honestly needs a larger development team. They are the biggest mobile game company in the world right now, and they have such a small development team. I mean, it's obviously not a money issue, because they obviously make tons of it. They said that they like to keep it in a small team just so that everyone basically knows what's going on, there's more communication and stuff like that. But if you take a look at all the other large gaming companies in the world, they all have bigger teams so that they can basically keep the game balanced, push out more frequent updates, and keep the player base engaged. So honestly, in my opinion, there's obviously a lot of stuff that I'm probably not seeing and that I don't understand from this, but from my point of view, I think that a larger development team would significantly help them come out with more frequent updates, like more new troops, and basically just please the community a lot more. If you know anything else about why they don't want to do this, go ahead, just let me know in the comments below, because I don't want to just be super ignorant on the subject. As it is right now, I just don't know too much about it, so if I am missing anything, just let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, that is just my 2 cents on how I think Supercell can revive Clash of Clans and bring it back to life. I really do want to see them bring it back to life, because I've been enjoying playing this game for a long time. I've been losing a bit of interest lately since I am getting very close to maxing my Town Hall 11, but I did hear rumors about Town Hall 12 coming sometime this year. I can't verify any of that, but it's just a rumor that I have heard. So I'm going to hold out until then, and then I'm really hoping Supercell is going to come out with some new features or new content or even a new troop to hopefully keep me a little more engaged with the game. I'm going to come out with another little video talking about some updates, not really leaks, but more hints that we've received from the forums so far. So that'll be coming out in a future video. I'm not sure when, because I am still a little sick and I can't make videos as frequently as I want to right now, but that will be coming out soon. And then I've also got a new update concepts ideas about all the new update concept ideas that I think would be really great inside of Clash of Clans that could also help bring it back to life. But since those are all just fan-made concepts, I'll leave that to another video. And anyways, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. I do hope you guys did enjoy it, and I do apologize for my voice, as I am still very sick, as I've mentioned many times already. But anyways, make sure you smash that like button so that Supercell can hopefully see this. And then also, Grand Warden story is coming out very soon. There will be a trailer for that beforehand, so you'll know when to expect it. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I will see you guys in the next. Peace out.
She tell me no romancer. Shawty tell me she a dancer, That bitch left me in a trance, Count my hundreds through the dash,